The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to put the charts up of the German DAX and also the FTSE so you can see the patterns that we have going on there. There's some really nice three-drive patterns coming in here in the DAX on the upside, and then on the downside, you see we've made a double bottom in the FTSE. But look at the numbers in the FTSE, folks. Just unbelievable. The exact high, 61% retracement. The retracement low, exactly 78%. So these numbers work on either side of the pond. So let's keep that in mind as we go through here. Folks, this business that we have here is all about risk control. And it's about how much money you have to risk in order to see if you're going to win. Now, we have an opportunity coming this Saturday. It's not the first Saturday in May, but it's the first Saturday in September. They're going to have the Kentucky Derby running, and it'll be widely publicized, even though there won't be any fans. Usually there's about 150,000 there. Back in the day when I was in college, and even in high school, we used to go down there. It was a state fair. Of course, that's where Churchill Downs was. That was the fairgrounds, and that's where the Kentucky Derby was held. You could get in for $2. But there's a prohibitive favorite in the race this year. His name is Tiz the Law. He's a monster horse. He's never lost. He's won 7 times in a row, and he will be going off at about 3 to 5 to 1 to 5. What that means is for every $2 you bet, you're going to get back about 20 cents. Now, that is not a very good return on your money because horses, and these are baby horses, remember, these are teenagers. And so what you want to try to do is to find a horse that's going to be a good price. And with a horse that's that big of a favorite, there's going to be some really great value there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you who the winner was until Monday, but I will let you know at that time. I have no idea who's going to win, but you know what? I wouldn't bet on that horse if they let me bet for free. Just to give you an example, when Secretariat ran in the Belmont in 1973, his last race, when he won by 31 lengths, he went off at 1 to 10. In other words, for every $2 you put up, you got back 10 cents. So I don't think he'll go off at 1 to 10, but he will go off at a huge price. So we're going to be able. It is the race is in Louisville, Kentucky, at the home of Churchill Downs. That's the first leg of the Triple Crown. Actually, it's the second leg of the Triple Crown because the first leg was the Belmont, and it's already been won by Tiz the Law. So he's already got one leg under his belt. But there's anyway. Let's get on. The reason why I'm showing you this is that people they listen to what's going on. To the pundits that are saying, "Oh, this horse can't possibly be beat." Well, believe me, anything can happen. It usually does, as Mark Douglas talks about. Now, I wanted to spend just a moment here. Arch Crawford's our guest here at the half hour, folks. So that'd be a lot of fun. But a lot of you folks have trouble when you're trading, and two of the reasons why you lose most often is one, you put your stops too close, okay, or the second reason is you don't use any stops at all. So what you've got to do, you have to face that demon and decide how you're going to handle that. And the only way you can do that is by practice. And you have to prove it to yourself. And no one else can, people can show you what to do, but until you do it yourself, you just can't do it. Just like riding a bike the first time. You can look at the manual, you can watch a video, but until you get on that bike and the wheels start shaking, you really don't know where you're going. So that's trading is all about that. That's why it takes anywhere from a year to 4 or 5 years or 25 years, or in my case, 59 years. You'll have to decide what that is. But you've got to face it yourself, take responsibility, and just do it. So let's just keep moving on here. Yesterday, we talked about, I've got to talk about what Mr. Z wants to talk about here in just a second. But if you remember yesterday, I was talking about the S&P, the importance of that time at 11:30. And I just wanted to bring this up to your attention to show you this is what happened. You'll see we were 11:30. We were making a bottom in the market at that time. And I said, if we start breaking down after 12 o'clock, that's going to be very, very bearish. Well, we weren't breaking down. You see, we were rallying. And that said that this was telling us that we were going to have a most probably a very, very strong day. And that's what's happening. Folks, you can do this yourself. Start looking at these charts on a 5-minute chart frame and go back 2 days and 3 days and 4 days and draw little overlays to see, what the market actually did, and then take those overlays into the future, and you'll see that you're going to see replications all the time because the market repeats itself over and over again, and that's the real key. Now, since we're on that topic, I wanted to bring this to your attention because, as you know here in the den, Mr. Z has been incredibly bullish on soybeans for a great deal of time, and as you'll notice here, that we have broken out of a long-term trend line going back into April of 2016, folks. That's very, very important. As you can see here, they're pointing very close to $10. We're not very far away. We're at 966 today. If you remember, when we came in Monday, we said the news was incredibly bullish. Okay, let's just get up here to show you what was happening here. This was Monday. We said, shut the front door and raise the rent. Hold on just a second here. I got the wrong one. Just a minute here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, now this is November beans. You'll see here on Monday we backed off. We hit where were we at? We were at 972. We backed off to 942, just about a 30-cent break. Now I want you to look at this chart very closely because what we talk about on here is repetition all the time. Okay, so if you look to see what happened after that break, I mean, it's just it's truly amazing that if you look at this stuff, it's right there in front of you. Sometimes it doesn't work, of course, but when it's there, it's there. But look at the retracement that we had in August, between the 17th and the 24th. What we do? We backed off exactly 22 cents. What's the harmonic number in soybeans? It's 20 cents. And you'll notice here what we do in 2 days from Monday through Tuesday. We backed off exactly 20 cents, and now we're back up to that 966 level, getting ready to break out after a small correction. So those are the things that you want to start focusing on as you start to look at these things. So I think it's important as you watch this. Now, there's been some indication here. Last night, we've had a first indication that this market could be topping. And if you take a look at what happened with the NASDAQ last night, you'll notice here that yesterday we had that huge break. We dropped from 12,460 down to 12,120. We rallied right back up to 12,400. We could not make a new high last night, whereas the S&P and the Dow Jones were going, ballistic to the upside, and the NASDAQ had been the leader. So that's the first time that the leader has actually changed over to the Dow and also the S&P. But if we take a look at what happened with the S&P here, we'll just get this up here so you can see it last night. You'll notice that what occurred here is the fact that you had a 78% retracement last night in the middle of the night up there at 35.87, and then we've broken down pretty good. And we've had our first indication this morning. I was doing this before the market started of maybe this market is made some type of a significant top, and I will share that with you right after the break.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. I just wanted to show you what's happening here with the S&P last night and early this morning. You notice that we had a nice breakdown to the 50% level, and we rallied up to the 38% level at 35.68, and we're now trading at 35.58. As long as we don't take out that 35.68, this market has a negative bias, at least till we get down to 35.44. So that's what I'm watching. And this is a short term, of course. Now, we had a question about Norm Winsky yesterday. I probably shouldn't have brought that to everybody's attention because I should have let Norm do his thing, but unfortunately he's been tied up, hopefully in a good way. But basically, he sent out this morning that the signal that he had yesterday was an alert. It didn't come through, and so that alert has been canceled. And he's looking to wait to see till the next opportunity comes up. But that alert is now history because he did not go short, and the market continued to go up, which is a good thing. You don't want to short when the market goes straight up. The reason why this 382 is important, folks, because that's the first indication that the trend could possibly be changing. Now, we're only 10 points away, but 10 points in the S&P is quite a bit, and we're trying to pick something on the day. That's enough of an indication looking at a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart to give you a place to enter, because it's all about how much you have to risk, not how much you're going to make. So that key number today is 35.69. The ABCD structure on this, if we were to look at this, and we'll just do that right now, so you folks, you wondered why I came up with that number of 44. I'll get that up here so you can see it, and then I'll bring it into the room here, and you'll be able to see what we're looking at here. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then now you can see why we're looking at 35.44. Below 35.44, there could be some trouble in River City, and we might even have 2 down days in the stock market in a row, folks. The last time that happened was in July of 1935. Well, it was actually a little later than that, but that's another thing that we want to watch. Now, yesterday, one of the things that we were doing was watching the gold market very, very closely, because gold had an indication that it was coming down to some major support, which was, let's just get this up here so we can see it, and you'll be able to see this right here. We were saying that we'd have some pretty good support there at the 78% level, which came in at 1933. The low was 1932. We're now trading at 1943. So that has held. Now, if we get below that number, then that sets up a whole different ball game. But right now, it's moved away from that level. At least $14. So that's a sign that something has happened at that level now. Okay, Ruby's asking what level to watch now in the NQ. Ruby, let's just do that for Ruby since we're in here. We're taking a quick look at it because the NQ has continued to break and has now down. We're almost at the 78% level. Well, we've already broken through it, Ruby. So let's just get here. So you'll be able to see it here because we've broken through it at the actual. Oh, we're right there right now, actually. We're there right now. So let's good point, Ruby. Let's get this up here. We're at the 78% level here at 22.27. So anything below 22.10 tells us that you're going to go down and make at least a 2105 level, because that's the larger ABCD. Let's just draw that in here since we're doing a little bit of geometry stuff here this morning, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about here. And these are just patterns, folks. I mean, they don't work all the time, but they work more than they usually do. Okay. All right. Now, someone's saying, Mr. Z saying at 1945 last on the gold. And, yep, this could be a major bottom in the gold. We don't know yet, but it's got all the earmarks of it. That's the problem, is it can change in a heartbeat. So that's a key level. That's all we know now in the gold, that it's a key level at 1932. Below that, folks, it's not going to be very pretty in the gold market. So if you're long that, make sure you have your stop in there, to prevent yourself from getting whacked in case the market goes down. Right now, it's acting pretty well. It's trading at 1945 on the upside, which is a good thing so far this morning. But as we know, things can change very, very rapidly. And when that happens, you certainly want to stand aside, because the key time today in the gold is around 12:30. That's the key time that you want to watch. And then I would think that would be something that would be very important. Now, you can find these numbers yourself, folks. If you do some research, go back and determine what the market's done in the past, and then move it out to the future, and you'll be really surprised. That book is available, Trade What You See, because that's where all that information came from, folks. That's what we started to do many, many years ago. That book was written 20 years ago, and it's still functional today, because the same things happened 20 years ago that are happening now. 20 years ago, it was the dot-com bubble. Now it's the dot-everything bubble, so we'll see what's going on here. Now we've got a question coming up this morning. Let's have to wait and see. The euro is just looking extremely bearish, in our opinion. We've had, I don't even think we've had much of a rally here. The last time I checked, it was trading at 32 or 18. We've had not really a rally. It's only moved. It moved 40 pips. That's the harmonic number in the euro. It went from 118.02 up to 118.42. That's the harmonic number, 40 pips in the euro. So that should be a correction, but we haven't even made a 382 correction on this yet, Mr. Z, and that's what we'd like to see. Let's get this up here, because I've got this. I'll show you how I use this, folks, because I have my limit minders in to tell me, when it makes a 382. Oh, I've got to draw this in, because this is it. Thank you, Mr. Z. This is making a really nice Gartley here, and hopefully it'll come in right at the 382 retracement. And whether it does or not, I don't know. Well, mathematics is time invariant. Well, all I know is that Mr. Hold on just a second here. Hold on, these things are beep. Boy, that really hurts my ears when that goes off. Oh, we got a caller today from Kansas. Robert, are you there?
I am. Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
What can I do for you, my friend?
Can you take a look at Bitcoin? And my question specifically is Bitcoin, so from basically early May through mid-July, Bitcoin did what I would call like an accumulation or kind of like a bull flag. It was accumulating before it took off. Is that what you're seeing right now, or is the drop we've had the last 2 days kind of invalidate that? Or can you give me your thoughts? I mean, I'm looking to take a long position.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I like a long position on this, but I think what we've just, and I don't have the Bitcoin chart this morning, Robert, I'm sorry, but I can tell you, if you look at it really closely, and it's really simple to see, and we talked about this on Monday, is that we had a head and shoulders pattern forming, which was slightly bearish, and that's what's given the sell-off. So if you get a move down to about 10,000, I think that's a really good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for calling in, Robert. We'll be right back, folks, with Arch Crawford.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspectives on the line. Arch, are you there?
I believe we have, too.
Hey, we are winning today. Listen, my friend, I'm going to shake the gray matter over there in East Tucson, and that is, do you remember about 23 years ago, you made a prediction in your newsletter. It was August the 31st, and as I remember this very vividly, it was something about unrequited love or something like that, about a disaster getting ready to happen. And that was when Princess Di died on that night. Do you remember that prediction you made?
I absolutely do, yes.
Yeah, that was a very, very famous. Could you tell the folks how you came up with that? And I know you got a lot of feedback from it, but tell us the story behind it.
Okay, well, I look at the patterns of the planets daily before I write my newsletter, and what the book said, I looked up. There was Saturn and like a solar eclipse and something else. Venus had to be in there somewhere, I guess. I don't remember the specifics, but it's the book. Right out of the book says tragic love. And, you know, she died, they say that she was pregnant at the time with the guy she died with.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So that's basically the story. But I remember another thing that happened 75 years from yesterday. All of my family was down at my aunt's beach cottage with the older cousins and all that. And it was VJ Day 75 years ago. I was 4 years old, and the oldest cousin, who was around, I don't know, 11, 12, maybe 13 at the most, and he led us into muddying up a neighbor's car. At this time, cars were running up and down the beach road, blowing their horns because it was the end of the war. And we sort of muddied up this neighbor's car, and we got caught for it. And I was mainly, I'm 4 years old, so I was mainly just watching. But it was certainly a memorable, historic date, which I remember very clearly, that part of it.
Yeah, since we're the same age, I remember it too. I happened to be in Chicago because my mother was making airplanes, you know, for the servicemen and stuff, and my father was he was stationed in Paso Robles, California, in a supply place, and then my other uncles were anywhere from Iwo Jima to well, there was a couple of them in Annapolis. But anyway, those are really sad times. Arch, I got a question from one of our listeners today, and you've been doing this a long time.
Sure.
In fact, you've been doing the stocks much, much longer than I have. But have you ever seen anything where the news is absolutely, you know, so bearish, and yet the market keeps going higher and higher? That's the number one question that I get almost every day.
When I was on Cavuto last week, he asked me sort of the same question. I said, well, there's a lot of money sloshing around in the system, and that's the only thing I could say about it. I think there's going to be an effort to make the new high on the Dow Jones. We got pretty close yesterday, and so I would say that would probably be the signal to get out.
Well, it's certainly given everybody a little bit of whatever they want, that's for sure. We have another question for one of our listeners, Arch, and that is, I know you do things, you know, on regular astrology, and their question is, do you see anything in the charts relating to the election for either candidate that is either positive or negative for the election in November?
Oh, the election date is incredible. Do you remember the Gore and Bush?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. 1980, wasn't it? Or excuse me, 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, sure.
And what happened was Mercury was retrograde, and it was in Scorpio. On election day, it backed into Libra and went direct. So it was in Libra one day, and it was election day. And Libra, as you know, means difficulty in making decisions. It's the balance. Everything is in some kind of balance, and there's no decisive anything. And we didn't know who became president for, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, I know it was quite a while. That's for sure.
And it was decided by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I know. Boy, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years ago, but boy, time goes so fast. It's really hard to believe. Arch,
and this time, Mercury is retrograde, and it goes direct on Election Day.
Oh, dear. That's usually pretty good because Mercury is the planet of communication, right?
Right.
Yeah, oh, wow. That's really amazing.
So it's going to be unusual again, and it may be like that one. In terms of not knowing who won for a while.
Yeah.
And I have a different time for some people. I think I got it from Bill Meridian about Trump's birth. And if that is correct, Uranus will be on his midheaven exactly on that day, Election Day.
Okay. And what effect would that have?
Well, Uranus is the planet of surprise and of electricity and of lightning strikes. So it could be very unusual, perhaps a little scary.
Okay. All right, now we've got a question about one of your favorite commodities, and that is the yellow metal, gold. What's your upside target, Arch?
I don't have any upside target. I'd say it could go as far as it can go. You know, we have been watching for this for years.
Sure.
And it's all happening now.
Yeah.
The background for gold and the background for the world being in such turmoil. Yeah. And we gave a strong buy signal on gold again June the 3rd or the 6th of last year, of 2019. So we're riding it for all we're worth, including half my IRA.
Sorry, Arch, we've been friends for a long time, and I'll tell you one thing. You have a tremendous uncanny ability for timing gold, so my hat's off to you. So I think that's terrific.
I traded gold on the I had a friend on the COMEX, and he was trading 3 contracts for me, which is not totally kosher, but he wanted to know what I thought, and I told him he would carry me. So I traded it for 3 years for a living, and that was my living in the mid-'70s.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's back when the gold was started trading, I believe, in '72 on the COMEX, and of course the one I traded was at the Merc at the CME, but they arbitraged them because it was just smaller market than the COMEX, but it was still a lot of fun. We got to take a break. We'll be right back with Arch Crawford Perspective. Stay with us, Arch.
Okay.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS, Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Arch Crawford, Crawford Perspectives. Arch, we have a question from a listener in Kansas, and the question he has, are you seeing any similarities between the dot-com bubble that we had in 2000 and what we're seeing right now in the stock market?
It looked just like 1999. You remember it went up 6 months into. As I remember, the Dow Jones topped on the 14th of January, and the NASDAQ topped on the 10th of March, and the S&P topped on the 24th of March in 2000.
Yep, I remember that vividly. Yep. That was Y2K. Do you remember we went out to the Pima County Fairgrounds, you and I and Byron Tucker and Mark Douglas, and we helped you get your frozen foods and stuff that you had ordered for Y2K. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh, Sam, Arch, all the stuff we've been through these years, it's amazing. Another question someone's asking, I know the answer is yes, but when, I don't know. Do you see another crash coming, and can you give us the exact date? And that's a serious question. I'm not joking.
Well, I actually have not looked out that far, but right now we're just entered September, and September tends to be the worst month, and October used to be the worst month, and it's now only the second worst month over several decades at a time, you know. So I would say that we are running into some resistances in time right now, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out, whether we will tank during this 2-month period. But I'm taking, what I said in the letter was to go short immediately and double up if it breaks a certain support level. I forgot which one it was right now, but I'm short going up here, and it may top any minute or any day. If you take the average all of the days of the year, the high date has a tendency to operate around September the 5th. That happens to be Sunday this time, so It's not exact, but it does average out to that.
Well, the top in 1929 was September 3rd, so there might be some truth to that one.
That's correct. I remember that too.
Yeah, wow. Very good. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for joining us today, and we'll have you on again soon. You want to tell the folks how they can get a copy of your letter and reach you?
Crawford Perspectives at earthlink.net. If you can't get through, try again. But there's you can phone us in Tucson. You can email us at, if not Crawford Perspectives at earthlink.net or arch.ah.crawford@gmail. Either way.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'd love to hear from you. And we'll send you a copy if you wish.
Well, thank you very much, Arch, and you have a wonderful Labor Day, and say hello to your lovely bride for me, okay?
Will do. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll be back someday with Arch Crawford, but right now we have a question about the stock, the most popular stock in the whole world, which is none other than the Apple, and we'll get this up here so we can take a look at it to see if we see any signs of topping, and that is the question that is being asked. Let's just get this up here a little bit. There's something we could look at. Let's just move on here just a little bit more. Oh, there, we got to change it because of the here. Since we were looking at that S&P, if you remember, there's a sign of topping. By golly, maybe this stuff does work. Shut the front door and raise the rent. I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to do the same thing here with Apple, folks, that I did with the E-mini S&P. You'll notice that we had the break. You'll see yesterday we went from 138 down to 126. What did we do? Over the next day, coming into this morning, we rallied to the 382 level, which is at 131. The high today has been 132.10. We're now trading at 127 and change. That's the same principle that we just talked about in the S&P is doing the same thing in Apple, because Apple is a big part of that S&P, and they do the same thing. So if we're looking at it in that context, what we're looking at today for a potential low, let's just get this up here, right here, so we can take a quick look at it. In the Apple would be, there we go. It would be down around 121, so that would be down another $6 from where we're looking at it. So that's nothing more than a 382 retracement. Now, if this market gets above 132, this tells you that that pattern has failed and all bets are off. Just like if the S&P gets above 35.70, that tells you that that has not happened. But we've gone down to, I think the low has been, how low did we get, to 52 or something this morning, 51.5. And we should be bottoming somewhere around this time, as we talked about early this morning, right around that 9:30 to 10 level. But the key level, again, folks, is exactly at 11:30. Just remember that. That's really important, because if you start looking at these numbers, they're going to give you an idea of what's happening, and that's important. Look at this. This is the same thing. I repeat myself over and over again, but here's where we were yesterday at 11:30. Okay. Now, what is the market doing? It's repeating itself again. So if we are making new lows after 12 o'clock today, that is going to be extremely important. That tells you that this market is breaking, and it's going to break hard. But, that has to happen first. You can't predict what one thing is going to happen over another. So I hope that helps. I'm trying to give you as much information here as I can. But as the history says, and Jim Twentyman, defy human nature, do some of this work yourself, and you'll be able to see that it does work. Mr. Z does his work in there. So, and he's nice to share it with us, as does Dudette and a bunch of others. But you got to prove it to yourself, because that helps you determine what you're risking, and that's what's really important when we're watching this. Folks, remember, when you're dealing with these stocks like Tesla and Amazon and Microsoft and Google, these are not what they seem. Google is not a car company, folks. It's a information company, and they're going to be putting many thousands, 30,000 satellites up into the sky here to watch what things are going on, especially when they put that COVID virus vaccine into our body, and they'll know exactly where we are and what we're doing at any particular time, and they'll be able to take our temperature, and in fact, they'll know everything about it. I guess that's the 1984. Okay, let's move on here. Another question, and that is about the gold market. So far, we've rallied $17 off the bottom. We're at 1/2 harmonic number in the gold. We got up to, let's see, how high did we get? We're trading at 49 right now. The harmonic number came in at 49. That's 12 off the bottom. So it's going to have a little bit of trouble getting above 1955 this morning, but still early in the morning. But we've had a pretty nice move off of that 1932 low. You had $17. That takes you to 1949, and that's where we're trading right now. So that'll be an important thing to watch. Anything above 1955 could put gold into a rapidly moving up market that we've seen several times over these past few weeks. So be careful on the short side, be careful on the long side. But remember, there's no short side or long side. It's only the right side. 877-927-6648.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the soybeans again because what we've done is we've not been able to take out those highs of Monday, folks, even though it looked like it was a foregone conclusion today with a strong opening call, and yet the market is actually lower by 6 cents. So that number is extremely important there at the 972 in the November beans. And here again, I'm just looking at numbers. You know, I'm not following any of the fundamentals because it's something that I don't quite understand, but I understand how buys and sells happen usually, not all the time, but that's what we're paying attention to. So keep in mind that tomorrow we're going to have Bill Meridian will be our guest, and I think that will be a lot of fun. He's got some great charts, of course, which will be really good. Yes, it is fun to have Arch on. I've met Arch, oh my gosh, 40 years ago when I first wrote that book, Astro Cycles, The Trader's Viewpoint. Met him, and I knew who he was because I'd been on a couple programs with him before, but we became friends back in '87 during the move up in the stock market into August of 25th of 1987 and down through the crash. And then he moved to Tucson here, 25 years ago after I had been here a while. And of course, a lot of other guys were living here. And we became sort of a cult, but the cult, there's too many old people are gone now, so the cult has disappeared. It's just, anyway, he's just a super guy. He was born on April the 17th, same day as none other than a J.P. Morgan. I was born on the birth date of Ralph Elliott, so I don't know if that means anything or not, so we'll see what's going on. Okay. You first shook hands with Arch in 1988 at the MTA in Scottsdale. Yep, that's used to go to that all the time. Okay, folks, we're going to take a break here until tomorrow. We'll have Bill Meridian as our guest, of course, so you don't want to miss that because he's got some really great statistics, and he's been spot on some of these markets, which is really pretty cool. So let's keep in mind. Regarding the euro, it still looks bearish. The 382 retracement comes in here at 118.65. I believe that will be some resistance if we get there. So